Ladies and gentlemen, at the very outset, we'd like to call upon the following dignitaries to join with us to do the honors in lighting this very special lamp in keeping the traditions of Sri Lanka. Please welcome our guest of honor, the Chief Representative of JICA here in Sri Lanka, Mr. Yamada Tetsuya. We'd like to call upon Director General Research and Innovation Division of the Ministry of Education, Ms. Kumari Megahakutua. Our keynote speaker, Senior Professor Ananda Jayawardena. Chairman of the NERD Center Sri Lanka, Professor Sudharman Upali Adhikari. Director General of the NERD Center Sri Lanka, Dr. Jayathu Samaravikrama. Representative of the Board of Members of the NERD Center, would like to call upon Mr. M.H.B. Sarath Kumar. Former Chairman, Mr. Ranjan Rodrigo. Former Director General, Mr. M.W. Leela Ratna. Chairman of the Organizing Committee of the 50th Anniversary Celebration, Dr. Anjana Lerage. And representing the members of the staff of the NERD Center, would like to call upon Mr. Ranjit Jayashanta. Ladies and gentlemen, lighting of the oil lamp in keeping the traditions of Sri Lanka. Would like to call upon the Commissioner General of Prisons, Mr. Tushar Upuldeni as well, and at the same time, the Senior Deputy Postmaster General, Mr. Ranjit K. Ranasinghe, also joining the dignitaries. Right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your gracious participation. Would like to request all of you to remain upstanding as we are getting ready for the national anthem of Sri Lanka right after lighting of this oil lamp. Right, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain upstanding for the national anthem of Sri Lanka, followed by the NERD song.
Namo ජය ගන්න ලොවම දිනා ගන්න ඉන්දියානු සාගරයෙන් එතෙරට යන්නට සැරසෙන්න නෙලා දෙන්න දෝතින් ඉංජිනේරු පර්යේෂණ අස්වැන්න යමු යමු පෙරටම ජයගෙන නැත සංකා අපේ හදවතයි නර්ඩ් ශ්‍රී ලංකා මුළු ලොව විස්මිත කළ ඒ සීගිරිය අපට උරුම කළ දැනුමේ ආකරය මුතු පවුරක් බැඳ සුරකී සාගරය යමු යමු පෙරටම ජයගෙන නැත සංකා අපේ හදවතයි නර්ඩ් ශ්‍රී ලංකා මහල් නිල් අහසට හිමි කරමු ඇල දොළ වැව් ඉදි කරබිම සරු කරමු අවනි පැයුම් මැද පරිසරයද රකිමු විදුලි වේගයෙන් රට පෙරටම යවමු යමු යමු පෙරටම ජයගෙන නැත සංකා අපේ හදවතයි නර්ඩ් ශ්‍රී ලංකා යමු යමු පෙරටම ජයගෙන නැත සංකා අපේ හදවතයි නර්ඩ් ශ්‍රී ලංකා
Thank you very much, everyone. Please be seated. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we all live in a world where everything is equally important and every performance is almost nearing a perfection. On this backdrop, there is only little space left in to innovate. That's none other than you and me. We have become the center point of a huge range in tornado, all being fueled by so much of developments and technologies as we speak. For an example, artificial intelligence, machine learning, new software engineering developments. We have been impacted by all these as I speak. Ladies and gentlemen, think about the self-driven cars, the computers that can think and learn. The way we work will never be the same again. We would require a whole new set of skills to encounter the challenges of the new world order. Time and again, history has taught us that knowledge-wise and technologically superior will always win, be it individuals, teams, organizations, and even nations. For more than 5 decades, NERD Center, well known as the National Engineering Research and Development Center here in Sri Lanka, has been engaged in multidisciplinary innovation, research and development activities in the field of engineering, and today is considered the premier engineering research and development organization here in Sri Lanka. Today, we have gathered here to celebrate 5 decades, 50 years of utmost excellence of the NERD Center here in Sri Lanka. To welcome all of you to this lovely gathering, it gives me great pleasure to call upon, ladies and gentlemen, the chairman of the National Engineering Research and Development Center, Sri Lanka, Professor S.U. Adhikari, who is a chartered engineer and a corporate member of the Institution of Engineers here in Sri Lanka, is a recipient of the 2 presidential awards for scientific research for the year 2005 and 2006 respectively, and has authored and co-authored more than 70 research publications in journals and conferences in the areas of nano-electromaterials, biomaterials, micro-electromechanical devices, etc. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor S.U. Adhikari to welcome all of you.
Very good morning to all of you. Mr. Yamada Tiswa, the Chief Representative of JICA Sri Lanka. The keynote speaker today, Senior Professor Anna Javadana, former Vice Chancellor of University of Moratuwa and the former Chairman of Commercial Bank. Heads and Chairmen of other institutions, secretaries, additional secretaries, and additional secretaries of ministries, members of the Board of Management of the NERD Center, all distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, and my dear friends. It is with great pleasure and pride that I welcome you all to this momentous occasion as we gather to celebrate Golden Jubilee of National Engineering Research and Development Center. 50 years ago, a vision was set into motion, a foundation was laid, and commitment to excellence in engineering research and development began. Through the research and development, the NERD Center has been strived to develop products, technologies, innovations to drive our nation forward during last 50 years. Apart from our core activity, research and development, the NERD Center collaborates with local industries to maintain the compliance of national and international standards to their products, address specific technological challenges through technical consultancies, and innovate engineering products and processes, pushing the boundaries what is possible. Over the last few years, waves of challenges inflicted significant uncertainties of Sri Lanka economy, from COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 to the economic collapse in 2022. However, NERD's capacity and resilience built up over the years have served us well, which is evident in our overall achievements in the year 2023 and the first 2 quarters of 2020. So during 2023, implementation of key decisions to restructure management of the NERDC was implemented, such as establishment of a business development center, introduction of multidisciplinary research groups, initiate lab services to industries and other stakeholders. So these changes have impacted the working culture of NERDC positively and contributed to the positive growth of in 2023. All the board members, I would like to thank actually all the board members for these pioneering efforts. All the board members and the management team headed by the Director General actually are committed to align in vision and the mission of the NERDC for the journey ahead. Challenges faced during the last 3 years tested the spirit of NERDC, but also served as opportunity for growth and innovation. So today's celebration is not just about looking back, but it's recommitting ourselves to the values that have sustained us and embracing the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. As we embark on the next chapter of our journey, let us continue to strive for excellence, foster innovation, and nurture the spirit of curiosity and collaboration that defines the NERDC. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who has been part of this incredible journey. Your dedication, the passion, and the support have been cornerstone of our success. So let us celebrate this golden jubilee with pride and joy and renewed commitment to the ideals that have brought us here. Thank you for being here today for your continued support. Together, let us honor our past, celebrate our present, and inspire our future. So welcome to the Golden Jubilee celebration of National Research and Development Center. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor S.U. Adhikari, the chairman of NERD Center Sri Lanka, welcoming all of you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to start the golden anniversary celebrations of the NERD Center. But before we start, let's have a look at a very special video compiled on the services rendered by NERD Center here in Sri Lanka throughout the last 5 decades. Let's have a look at the golden legacy of NERD Center.
Sri Lanka, a nation of rich heritage and untapped brilliance, stands on the cusp of a technological renaissance. In a rapidly evolving world, engineering research and development have become pivotal pillars in propelling our nation towards a brighter, innovative future. At the heart of this progress is the National Engineering Research and Development Center, or better known as NERD Center. Established in 1974, NERD Center has been in the forefront of engineering innovation through its research and development for 50 years. Our mission is to engage in research and development activities to develop, acquire, adopt and transfer engineering technologies that would have a direct impact on the socio-economic development of the country, ultimately enhancing the quality of life of all Sri Lankans. Beginning as a humble initiative in IDB premises, led by Vidya Jyoti Professor KKYW Pereira, we started out our journey with the development of consumer electronics items. Under the visionary leadership of Deshabandhu Vidya Jyoti Engineer Dr. A.N.S. Kulasinghe, NERDC was relocated to its current location at Ekala Jayala and initiated its groundbreaking milestones with the Prashakti Light project and commercialized several other electronic items. These transformative achievements catalyzed the growth of local innovations across the nation. That was only the first milestone of many. Renewable energy is at the cornerstone of policies and environmental strategies now. Leading these efforts are NERDC's pioneering solar thermal water heating technologies. After technology transfer, the solar hot water system became widespread across the country. In the realm of biomass energy, we stand as a beacon of innovation and leadership in the South Asian region. NERDC's expertise in this field has enabled the development of gasification technologies tailored to local biomass resources. Biogas technology has seen progressive development at NERDC over the years. Additionally, we successfully introduced incinerator for waste management in several industries, including the health sector. During an era when Sri Lanka had only a handful of imported crematoriums, Dr. Kulasinghe and the team at NERDC pioneered groundbreaking solutions with the development of a biomass gasification-based crematorium. Building on this success, we introduced a cost-effective LP gas crematorium, swiftly embraced across the country for its efficiency and eco-friendliness. Today, NERDC has revolutionized crematorium infrastructure in Sri Lanka by developing over 132 units, representing 58% of the country's crematoriums. In the 1990s, when rural electrification was a national priority, we pioneered in introducing standalone and grid-connected renewable energy projects in Sri Lanka. We achieved a historic milestone by developing the country's first grid-connected mini hydro project. Using a combination of wind and micro hydropower technologies with battery storage, NERDC eliminated a rural village of nearly 100 households that was previously unelectrified. NERDC introduced pre-stressed concrete technology to the country at a time when the technology was groundbreaking only in European countries. NERDC implemented several milestone projects using these new technologies in universities and government institutions. We led in developing cost-effective building technologies, notably earth-stabilized cement blocks, footbridges, and many. Our footbridges were widely adopted in rural areas, replacing the old Edanda for crossing water bodies. Through these new technologies, NERDC uplifted the local economy and effectively utilized the country's resources. Beyond this, NERDC has introduced technologies like innovations to Ayurvedic sector, compost making machines and virgin coconut oil extraction machines, revolutionizing agricultural and traditional practices in Sri Lanka. During the COVID-19 era in the year 2021, NERDC developed the oxygen concentrator. Recently, NERDC has developed several technologies showcasing its expertise in electronic and mechatronics engineering field. The pure sine wave inverter, automatic wall painting machine, automated beverage filling machine, repairable LED lamp, the elephant fence energizer are amongst many such new developments. Over the past 5 decades, NERDC has marked numerous milestones. The establishment of the Technology Park in 1999 and the opening of the Engineering Museum in 2014. In 2017, Nerd Center opened the Technology Incubator to support inventors and researchers to develop their prototypes of inventions. The Nerd Center has built up competence in several thrust areas to provide unique and complete professional services to the industry. For this, we opened several accredited laboratories over the decades. The Environmental Testing Laboratory provides services and measurements requested by the industry, ensuring their sustainable operations by adhering to environmental regulations. The Refrigeration Testing Laboratory, established in 2016, and the Ingress Protection or the IP Testing Laboratory, established in 2023, are the first of its kind in the country. In 2023, to meet national requirements, NERDC inaugurated an electric vehicle testing laboratory. Here, an EV undergoes rigorous testing for its quality before RMV approval for importation. NERDC also houses laboratories for material testing, pump testing, lamp testing, battery testing, etc. Upon establishing the Energy Management Center in 1986, with financial assistance from the United Nations Development Programme UNDP, NERDC pioneered the introduction of energy efficiency measures and energy audit services to the industrial and commercial sectors. Today, the department provides services to thousands of clients across the country's industries. Dissemination of science, technology and research is a core mandate of NERDC. We organize the annual International Engineering Research Symposium, providing a platform for researchers, academia, industry and students to discuss novel and cutting-edge researches. At the heart of our success are highly trained, experienced and competent staff members who propel our mission to provide sustainable engineering solutions, uplift the national economy through technology transfer. This remarkable journey is attributed to visionary leaders and a dedicated team who worked tirelessly, often under challenging conditions, to fulfill our goals.
I have had the privilege of witnessing the power of engineering to change lives. From the rural communities benefiting from our sustainable technologies to SME industries empowered by our innovations. Every project I have been a part of has left an indelible mark on Sri Lanka.
At Nerd Center, it's more than just a job. It's a responsibility to use my knowledge and skills in electronic engineering for the greater good in practical applications. In my journey at Nerd Center, I'm filled with pride knowing that I played a role in shaping a better future for my country and its people.
NERDC has always believed in the power of collaboration to drive innovation. Through our Business Development Center, established in 2023, we have fostered public-private partnerships that expand our reach even beyond Sri Lanka's borders. These local and international partnerships are a testament to our vision of collaborative innovation, driving progress and sustainability across various sectors in engineering. Our commitment to excellence is reflected in our extensive portfolio of patents, which showcase our ability to solve complex challenges and create tangible solutions that positively impact lives. As we look ahead to the future, NERDC remains steadfast in its commitment to engineering excellence and societal advancement. Our vision is clear: to be the center of excellence in engineering research and development in the South Asian region. To achieve this vision, we have outlined clear goals and strategies, focusing on key areas. Our strategies include the formulation of projects addressing national issues, fostering industrial partnerships, and facilitating innovation-based entrepreneurship through our technology transfer. We are committed to enhancing our research facilities, forging collaborations, and nurturing a talented workforce equipped to tackle the challenges of tomorrow.
Today, as we embark on a journey towards engineering research excellence, I call upon brightest minds in the country in research and engineering to join us. Together, let's build the future that we all can be proud of.
Let's continue to push the boundaries of engineering excellence for a stronger, more prosperous Sri Lanka, and a world that thrives on the power of knowledge.
Yes, 50 years of utmost excellence. Everyone, big round of applause. Come on. So that's about the service rendered by Nerd Center towards the development of the Mother Nation during the last 5 decades. But what is the way forward? I would like to call upon the Director General of the Nerd Center, Dr. Jayathu Samaravikrama, to take us through, who obtained his bachelor's with first-class honors and masters in the field of electronic and telecommunication engineering from the University of Moratuwa, obtained his PhD in the field of humanoid robotics from the University of Genova and the Italian Institute of Technology in Italy, worked as the postdoctoral fellow at the University of Genova, Italy for 1 year on a European Union-funded project. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Jayathu Samaravikrama.
Good morning. Good morning. Guest of honor, Mr. Yamada Tetsuya, Chief Representative of JICA Sri Lanka. Keynote speaker, Senior Professor Anand Jayawardena. Executive members of invited institutions. Chairman, Board of Directors of NERDC, staff of NERDC, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honor and privilege to address this distinguished gathering in the 50th anniversary of Nerd Center as Director General. I think before I go into the way forward, I should take some time to elaborate what is the impact of Nerd Center operation in the national economy. I think I should take some time for elaborating this, our operation, 50 years of operation. So I do not take all the projects in order to justify our operations. I just take few projects. The first one is cost-effective construction technology. The cost saving in this technology is almost 30%. This 30% coming from steel usage and the cement. So most of those raw materials are imported raw materials. With our own technology, we could save some foreign currencies. And same time, with our technologies, we were able to create many job opportunities in the country. That is one of our goals as a National Engineering Research Center. So we have done that part as well. If I take the second point, crematorium technologies. If you take crematoriums, in Sri Lanka there are about 132 crematoriums built and maintained by NERDC technologies. If you compare the price of international crematorium and a local crematorium, price difference is 10 to 15 million less. So that means we have saved almost higher than 1,500 million rupees to the country. If you take our recurrent budget and the capital budgets, it is more or less 300 million rupees. But when it comes to the contribution, that is the crematorium alone, for 130 crematoriums, contribution is more than 1,500 million rupees. Now you can see our main contribution in the area. Then nowadays many people talk about carbon net zero policies. We have been practicing this since very beginning. So we have energy audits department and as well as environmental service departments, which help our SME sectors to maintain the standards according to environmental rules. So we have service laboratories to test them and help them to protect the environment while helping the development. Then the quality testing. One of our goals is to support our companies, SME sectors, to develop their products to international level. So we are supporting them through these testing laboratories. Of course, we have plans in the future working with Japanese technologies and European technologies to enhance these lab facilities to support our SME sectors. Because without standardization of these products, we cannot create a fair market for our local manufacturers. I think it's a must. So we are working towards that. Now, if you take the current states, of course, we did a great job in the past, but during last 2 years, we faced some crisis. The main reason was the economic crisis we had in the country. But with revising some strategies, we faced them very successfully. Some of the strategies were, we found that that's problem and the problem that we have, it is mainly because of our SME sectors are not very powerful. So in order to solve this problem, we thought it is very important to strengthen the SME sector so that they can be competitive in the local market as well as international markets. So then we form a business development center in the NERDC, so that this center can look after the SME sectors. So with that, we were able to secure many projects, and now you can see in our stall, we collaborated with many companies in order to develop their products, enhance their products. So through those collaboration, we were able to overcome the difficulties that we faced during the economic crisis. Now I feel it is the way forward. So we see that when we work collaboratively with industry, it is very easy to market our products. So we automatically get the manufacturers. We make entrepreneurs through that. So our products are going to the general public through our licenses. So then once we work with SME companies, SME sector, then automatically we get licenses through that. So through then we can develop our products and support the national economy. So expanded in research in the electronics and mechatronics IT sector. without electronics, mechatronics, IT, we cannot develop this country. And if you take any research, it has these kind of electronics, mechatronics and IT area. So then we have to expand. We expanded these sectors. Of course, if you go to our stall, you will witness many products that are made in this area. For example, elephant fence, the pure sine wave inverters, and e-vehicle, E3-wheeler, and weighing scale. So we work with companies in industry in order to develop these products. Then form new laboratories. We found that in order to support SME sector, one thing is we have to stop inferior products coming into the market. If you bring inferior products into Sri Lanka, then we cannot create fair market for the local people, because inferior products are cheap and low quality. Sometimes it can emit more carbon. So then, but if we have more good laboratories, then we can support SME sector. So to keep the standards, keep the quality, then there will be a fair market. Then through that we can support SME sector. Then that is the way forward, I feel. If you want to strengthen our SME sector, our industries, first we have to maintain the equal standards, not only for local, but for what is coming into the country. So we have to maintain that. In order to do that, we need to have laboratories that can be used for testing whether these products are according to the international standards. So we have to go with that. I think we need to probably the Japanese technologies, European technologies to test these products. I feel that we will get this support in the future. So the last year, of course, we opened 2 laboratories. One is e-vehicle testing laboratories. Nowadays, many e-vehicles are coming into the local market. To guarantee our client, our consumers, these products are in good quality, safe. So we have formed these 2 laboratories, that is for e-vehicle testing, and another one is the pump testing, water pump testing. Now I will go into future mission. So we have very good education system. Now education reforms are also coming. In order to absorb these capable people, so we have to have good industry. It is our duty as National Engineer Research and Development Center. We feel like we have a great responsibility to enhance this engineering sector so that our graduates, our technicians can come and work. Otherwise, there will be a brain drain. So we are working with industry that is mainly for forming the industry so that our local people can work, no need to migrate and work there. So that is one way forward, and give priority for the research that is having higher economic value. So we want to consider research not only the papers, but also what kind of impact that can be this research can give to the society. Increase visibility of the research done in the center. So that is one important thing. We are doing research, but we do not take much time for publish them. Today we participated this international exhibition. The aim was that once we publish these things, we will get opportunities that many people will know what we are doing. Young engineers will know. So they will see we are doing a challenging jobs. Then people will come who wants good career. That is one thing that we want to do. Recently we found some problems. The problem was when we advertise that we want good, high capable engineers, we see less number of applicants. The main reason is we are a bit far away from Colombo city. So we need to have some decentralized research centers in the country as well, in order to reduce our operational cost. So we are thinking of that also, whether it is possible to operate some of the sectors, not in Ekal area, but in some other Colombo, Jaffna, like, so that we can reduce our operational cost. For example, if you take electronics, the lab is sufficient. So we can decentralize this operation in order to reduce the cost. That is one aim. Through that, we can attract young, capable people to the center. Strengthening the license is another aim, because our technologies are going to the market through these licenses. So if we strengthen these licenses, we can do a great job, and also we can attract more research to the center. So then we should work together with licensees and bring more research to the center. Same time, we should be able to do a higher business. Once we strengthen licenses, then they will get more jobs, and they also will get the benefit. Through these future works, I feel we have a brighter future. So I am confident that through this, if you follow these steps, we will get more jobs, more research into the country, and also our products will be improved, and our industry will get developed. With that, I am going to stop my speech. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The Director General of the NERD Center, Sri Lanka, Dr. Jayatha Samaravikrama, mentioning about the future mission, the way forward for NERD Center. With that note, ladies and gentlemen, here at this golden anniversary celebration, we are ready for the keynote speech, and I would like to call upon Professor Ananda Jayawardena, who is currently a Senior Professor in Civil Engineering at the University of Moratuwa, a commission member of the University Grants Commission, member of the governing boards of several other public and private sector organizations, just completed his term as the chairman of the Commercial Bank. He is also the past Vice Chancellor of the University of Moratuwa, past Chairman of the Committee of Vice Chancellors, and a past Director General of the National Science Foundation. He is a Chartered Engineer, an International Professional Engineer, a Fellow of the Institution of Engineers Sri Lanka, a Fellow of the Institute of Project Managers Sri Lanka, a Fellow of the National Academy of Sciences here in Sri Lanka, a life member of the Sri Lanka Association for Advancement of Science, a graduate member of the Sri Lanka Institute of Directors, and a member of the Society of Structural Engineers. Also, the past NDB Bank endowed professor in entrepreneurship at the University of Moratuwa and a past president of the Institution of Engineers Sri Lanka. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Ananda Kitsiri Vijayanayaka Jayawardena.
Thank you very much for that very kind introduction. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Yamada Setsuya, representative of JICA, guest of honor this morning. Professor Upali Adhikari, chairman of the NERD Center. Dr. Jayatha Samaravikrama, MD, members of the director board, distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen. We just heard Dr. Samaravikrama's future plans, what the NERD Center has been doing in the last 50 years. Today, when I was invited to be the keynote speaker, I was in fact thinking what a great work that has been done during the past 50 years. And in fact, addressing this 50th anniversary, this momentous occasion of the NERDC, is a great honor to me to be here at this momentous occasion. I was thinking what title I should talk about as a keynote speaker or keynote address this morning. And I was thinking when Dr. Jayathu Samaravikrama indicated that he is going to talk about the future and his plans. Also, in line with that, I chose the topic of the Nerd Center to be a better player in the national innovation ecosystem. I am actually a bit passionate about this national innovation ecosystem because we all perform in this ecosystem. When the ecosystem is not good, we cannot really perform to the best. And we also should know how to be a better player in this national innovation ecosystem. So I thought to talk under these 4 topics. First, to start with my sentiments about the NERDC, then a little bit of an introduction about the conduciveness of the power of conducive national innovation ecosystem, then Nerd Center reflecting performance, just to complement what Dr. Samaravikrama indicated, and some strategies for the Nerd Center to be a star player in this national innovation ecosystem. First of all, let me congratulate Nerd Center for 50 years of wonderful service that we all witnessed a little while ago through the video and also for the presentation of the Dr. Samaravikrama. My first visit to Nerd Center was as an undergraduate student, long time ago, I think in the year 1980, as an undergraduate student of the University of Maratua. Even at that time, we were really impressed about the activities of the Nerd Center. We know that the remarkable legacy of Dr. Kulasinghe, who steered the Nerd Center for greater heights with lots of innovations. We know that it is one of the most prominent engineering research centers of the country, as we just witnessed. We also know that we have some of the best engineering research facilities in the Nerd Center, and we were told that there are new labs to be established or just established as well. We also know that Nerd Center is equipped with well-experienced and trained staff members, and as we saw in the video and also in the slides, it has contributed enormously in many fields, in many sectors for the raising the standard of living of people and for the community services and also for the economic development of the country as well. So well done, Nerd Center. Once again, many congratulations. With that, you want to give a clap? Yeah, of course. Yeah. Thank you. Right, with that, we move on to the second subtopic, the power of a conducive national innovation ecosystem. When we consider science, technology, research, and innovation ecosystem, it is actually a complex system. It is defined in this way, or different people do it in different ways. It's an economic dynamics of complex relationships between actors and entities whose functional goal is to enable technology development and innovation. And an innovation ecosystem is a network of interrelationships through which information, talent flow through systems of sustained value co-creation. So basically we are in a system, right? We are just one player of that entire system. And this system consists of, maybe you can consider it as a knowledge economy, which is driven by the fundamental and applied research of the universities and R&D institutions. In one side, the other side, you have the commercial economy driven by the marketplace, by their own innovations and product development and so on. And combine that, you have the effective national innovation ecosystem. I will skip this one with the time. If I just consider a model for the innovation ecosystem, you have at the center a firm, because the firms are the entities which actually add value to our society, value to our economy or development of our economy, and also provide products and services to the country. And this firm is actually supported by many, many players, as you can see in this slide. You have the customers, you have the suppliers, you have the intermediary bodies, you have higher education institutions providing talent, you have business services organizations providing services, financial institutions providing financial support, innovation support agencies like Nerd Center providing those kind of supports. So we are supporting these firms to do the economic development of the country and raising the standard of living of people. So we are just one player of this entire ecosystem. And if you consider this one holistically, you have many organizations at the bottom. You can see the government, administrative agencies, funding, universities, R&D institutions, think tanks, large companies, NGOs, society, venture capital, supporting this national innovation system. Then it supports a regional innovation ecosystem, global innovation ecosystem, and then you can see that it really drives the sustainable development globally and addresses the global challenges that we know about, climate change or all the issues, food scarcity, all that as well. Right, so basically the main goal of a national innovation system is to enhance the nation's economic growth and competitiveness by fostering innovation, right? So competitiveness is one of the major terms that we should know. If we are not competitive, we can't grow at all. So it is a competitiveness which drives our economy always. So we have many actors in this system, and the actors are connected with various links, and we call them interactions. And all these actors are provided with innovation inputs, which includes human capital, funds, and other resources. And at the end of the day, we actually would like to have the innovation performance of this entire team as a system, not just as one entity, but as a system as well. We know that a conducive or healthy innovation ecosystem channels some of the profits from the private sector into research, which we are now hardly, it is actually there as well. Lots of companies now have research entities. But if you consider a country like Korea, over 80% of the research funding coming from the private sector, not from the government sector, because they know the value of that. So with that kind of an innovation system, more conducive system, you can channel private sector funding for research. It results in innovative commercial products that grow the economy of a country. It creates a cycle of more research and innovation and more innovation-driven profits into the economy. So these are the results of a conducive innovation system. The four main components of this entire ecosystem includes the knowledge transfer between universities, R&D institutions, and industry. It, of course, supports technology-based spin-off and startup companies. It supports the commercialization of research through licensing of properly protected intellectual property, and certainly it supports collaboration between the entities. So simply what we really need to find out is that this entire system really provides support for the organizations mutually grow with their support. And NERD Center is just one such organization. The Ministry of Technology, or Ministry of Education now, under the Ministry of Technology, Science and Technology earlier, has created many entities already in the ministry. And these are the institutions coming under the ministry itself as players or entities of this national innovation ecosystem that we talked about. And all these should support each mutually for us to play and our role effectively. With that small understanding or brief understanding about the national innovation system, which is the system that we would like to be conducive for us to be more effective, I would like to just quickly reflect the performance of the NERD Center during the last couple of years. To start with, Sri Lanka's research and innovation profile at glance. We have many indicators like investment on research, patents, all those indicators are there. But if we just consider our performance at a glance, innovation dimensions are measured by several factors. As you can see, the strength of the institutions, human capital on research, infrastructure, market sophistication, business sophistication, knowledge, technology outputs, and creative outputs. If you consider the left-hand side graph, you can see Sri Lanka's performance 2016 and 17, and we are generally okay. This is 50%, right? So outer perimeter circle is 50% of the scale, and we have not reached even 50% of the effectiveness in that institutions and the infrastructure, but we are weak in human capital and research and business sophistication, knowledge and technology outputs and creative outputs in that system, right? And if you compare that on the right-hand side with some Asian countries like India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Kazakhstan, and Nepal, some of our comparable countries, you can see what is innermost one is Sri Lanka. This is a scale up to 70%. So the outer circle, which is basically even Pakistan and all these countries perform better in many of the aspects. What is at the bottom right hand is a comparison between some Asian countries, Sri Lanka with Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand and Singapore. And again you can see Sri Lanka is the innermost one where you have plenty of room to expand. And if you consider Singapore, like institutions is almost 100%, nearing 100%. That is a facilitation of the innovative performance of these countries. Right. Coming back to the NERDC. NERDC, our mission, basically, according to the Act, is developing, acquiring, adopting, transferring engineering technologies that would help in the production and sustainable utilization of human and material resources by engaging R&D activities that would have a direct impact on the economic development of Sri Lanka and on the improvement of living standard of people. So this is under that mission that the NERD Center operates in the national innovation ecosystem. In this entire ecosystem, you have various player clusters. And these are the player clusters, as you can see. And you have the government agencies, which provides the policy making, funding, and regulations. You have research institutions and universities, knowledge creation, education, training, collaboration. You have private companies providing R&D investment, commercialization, collaboration. Intermediary organizations providing support services, technology transfer. Financial institutions, funding and investment, risk management. NGOs, advocacy, networking, capacity building. Consumers and society, feedback and adoption. So these are major players. And NERD Center actually is doing several of those. As you can see, it is a government agency providing support in some policy making and some funding as well, generated funding, mainly policy making to some extent. But majority of their services include the research under category of research institutions, where you have the knowledge creation, collaboration, education, training, and also intermediary organization providing support services to the industry and, more importantly, the technology transfer as well. So you have multi-role in this national innovation ecosystem. Right, going back to the history about 10 years, over 10 years back, right? So this is not current. 10 years back, NASTEC, which is empowered to assess the science and technology organizations' effectiveness, they have designed a template to measure the effectiveness of the various organizations. And these are the organizations coming under the Minister of Science and Technology at that time. And there are templates to measure various aspects to see the effectiveness. And at that time, NERD Center, you can see, red is weak, yellow is medium, and green is satisfactory. And if you consider some of these measurement criteria to see the linkages with the stakeholder institutions, you can see NERD Center has not scored well during that time. This is based on 2010-11 data. If you look at the HR issues of the NERD Center compared with other institutions in the ministry as well, NERD Center has not been doing well in these areas as well, so according to this assessment. And this is 2010-11 data, as I told you. Right, so if you consider continue HR aspects, again you can see NERD Center has been weak in their performance. This is based on independent assessment by a review panel of their effectiveness. If you consider the support given by these R&D institutions to industry organization through a survey of 40 companies in 2014 indicated that these research institutions, in their view, do not provide effective support to these industry organizations for their research needs. You can say not at all, and minimum, and average, good, and all that, very few responses. If you consider the entire spectrum of questions that you ask about the management effectiveness, and these questions include institutional response to external and internal environment in planning of science and technology programs, and planning science and technology R&D projects, project management and maintenance of quality, human resource management, management of organizational assets, coordinating and integrating internal functions, units and activities, managing information dissemination, and monitoring, evaluation, and so on. You can see the performance of all the organizations coming under the ministry, and the NERD Center has not been scoring very much, except, of course, the maximum score that you can get is 3, because if it is strong, you get 3 marks. If it is moderate, you get 2 marks. And if it is weak, you get 1 mark. So you get the average of that. 2.43 is item number 6, which is managing the organization assets, has been marked high, but all the others need significant improvement. Right. So coming to recent past, we did a similar survey or review in 2021, and that is exactly the same template used by the NERD Center. And you can see that NERD Center has improved very significantly during the last, say, 7 or 8 years in all these aspects. Most of the weak ones have now been transformed to the yellow ones, the moderate. And if you just continue with the HR aspects, you can see almost all the weak ones have been transferred to moderate ones. So once again, many congratulations, NERD Center, for your improved performance over the last 8-9 years, improving their systemic environment and collaborations, coordinations, HR management, and all the management functions that you consider. Right. And one of the most important aspects of this national innovation ecosystem is the strength of partnerships between or among various institutions and even outside Sri Lanka. Dr. Samaravikrama mentioned about collaborative international research as well. That is one of the most important performance indicators of the strengths of partnerships, because as a one entity, one organization, we cannot achieve more. It is through collaborations that we need to achieve. So if you measure the strengths of these collaborations through a research tool called social networks, and we have identified these linkages indicate the strength of relationships. NERD Center is somewhat satisfactory, but of course weak relationships if you consider global and most effective organization relationship that you have. You can see the connectivity among these institutions in the ministry as well, collaborations with science and technology. If you consider this relationship between department, faculties, and R&D institutions in terms of joint research activities, NERD Center having 7 degree, which is a poor relationship. Relationship in seeking assistance for visiting lecturing is also not very good. Conducting joint conferences, in terms of conducting joint workshops, training, there were some indicators, but all these indicators indicate that the relationship that we maintain with outside organizations needs lots of improvement. Strength needs lots of improvement or enhancing. This is again output data that we consider. I'll not spend too much time on that as well. So these are the NERD Center statistics about that. Right, that's the performance of the NERD Center. But how do we transform ourselves to a star player? In fact, Dr. Samaravikrama indicated his vision or his basically areas that he has identified to really develop as well. I was just thinking to take this slide, which is from the Harvard Business Review. This is an innovation value chain. And we know that innovation is not an easy job. And there is a whole value chain that we need to make sure that they are all connected and deliver. If there is any break in this value chain, it breaks. And we do lots of research, but we don't really progress through this value chain. Innovation value chain has these first one, key questions that you want to ask in the idea generation, in-house, within our organization, creation within the unit? Do people in our unit create good ideas on their own? And across units, do we create good ideas by working across our company? And with external, do we source enough good ideas from outside our firm? And that's the idea generation. Then you get the conversion. Are we good at screening and funding new ideas? And in the development, moving into the next level, are we good at turning ideas into viable products, businesses, and best practices? And moving to diffusion, dissemination, or spread, are we good at diffusing developed ideas across the company and the country as well? So that's the idea generation internally, externally, and diffusion. That's a value chain. And you have the key performance indicators at the bottom, and you can see the progress of your innovation chain by asking these questions or by measuring these key performance indicators as we go through. Now we need to find out whether we use that kind of a model in us to go through and measure the effectiveness of that. Right, Nerd Center to be a star player, right at the center, Nerd Center, we have in the innovation ecosystem other clusters. We have the government and government institutions in one side, other science and technology institutions in the other side, universities and higher education institutions at the bottom, and the industry SMEs. These are just 4 major clusters, but there may be many other clusters. And if you talked about the strengths or strategies that we need to have, strategy 1, I think, is strengthening the NERDC. And of course, Dr. Samaravikram indicated that they are creating new labs and they are trying to collaborate with other international funding organizations to strengthen Nerd Center with facilities and also with talent. And talent is also very important. And strategy 2 is to have a very strong relationship with the government to bargain collaboration partnerships with the government entities. Strategy 3, collaboration and partnerships with science and technology institutions. Strategy 4, collaborations with universities and higher education. Industry, collaboration and partnerships. So one key word that is repeating everywhere is the collaboration, right? So that's the strength. The NERDC will not be able to deliver effectively if you do not collaborate with all these institutions. So that's the most important aspects, how best we collaborate. We need to assess ourselves what kind of links that we have with these organizations and how strong these links that we have, right? These links does not indicate that we provide services to them, but these links indicate that we collaboratively work with them, right? And we harness their strengths and we give our strengths. And through that mutual connection that we do better, so that we have a win-win situation. They do better and we do better and country does better as well. If we just go through these aspects without identifying exact strategies, strategy 1, strengthening the Nerd Center. I was thinking, develop human talent and implement strategies for recruiting and retaining high caliber R&D personnel. And maybe this is something, a legacy issue in Sri Lanka, because our R&D institutions overall is not very strong. The reason is very difficult to attract best talent. The reason, I think the government has a huge role to play. In some of the countries, R&D staff is paid highest salary because they are the cream of the talent that you need to have in R&D institutions, because they know that is an investment to the future, investment to the innovation, and that is where you need to have the best talent, and that is why you need to retain countries like Japan, Korea, Malaysia, and these countries have enormously benefited through the development of this national innovation ecosystem. They really identify where the gaps, where the gap institutions are, where are the gaps in the environment creation, where are the gaps in the policy making, and they tap and address all these gaps. When the innovation system is conducive, you don't want to do anything because the players do by themselves. It is just the stimulation, self-stimulation that comes through. So that's a system that we need to create, and the government has a much better role to play in that. And so this is maybe together. We have been trying in the past to really convince the government always R&D is very important. We have the policies developed, we have the strategies developed, and they are there but not really implemented. But I think we should really push always, constantly, until we succeed in that. Improve R&D and innovation infrastructure, we just mentioned about it. Sustainable financial plan encourage generation of funding, because lots of R&D institutions, they generate funding through technology transfer, technology licensing, and of course it's a chain reaction that you always have. Reconfigure organization structure in line with required strategic transition. Maybe a NERDC center can look at your organization structure, but I was thinking it is an organization structure that was done for some time ago, but now you need that reconfiguring that organization structure for a better delivery, and please look at that as well. Introduce project-based value chain delivery rather than unit-based. I was thinking that, of course, Dr. Samaravikram indicated that with your projects that you have, but we have civil engineering department, electronics department, marketing department, and all that. But what is important is not just the department delivery, a functional delivery, but a project-based delivery. So you identify a very key strategic project, like you said, the elephant energizer, right? National problem. People die, elephants die, crops destroyed, all that. But national issue. Can we find out a solution, not only by NERDC Center, but collaborating with all the institutions that are there, but just one solution will have a huge impact and a huge credibility for the NERDC Center. So project-based delivery, I think, is very important. Identify those kind of things. Then systemic and process innovation for more effective project delivery. So when we look at our organization, always we have systemic improvements that we need to do, process efficiency, process automation, repetition of things. There are gaps in our processes. Look at the process entire value chain. I think what you need to always consider is this value chain, right? Whether there are gaps in this value chain, whether the chains are properly linked, and whether the chain, between chain links, whether you need to do certain conditioning to make sure that they are more effective. Then develop performance-based oriented organization culture and introduce performance-based incentives. And that's very important. That's how private sector works. And private sector, you can see that the salaries are high, but there are key performance indicators for every staff member. Every staff member is measured. Their bonuses are paid, their salaries are increased based on performance. If your performance grade is A, you will get maybe 25% increase. If it is C, you will probably not get any salary increase. Even bonuses, if your performance is about 25% more, you will get 100% of bonus. If it is less than, maybe if it is just the target, you will not get any bonus. So it's a performance based. I think the government also and the organization should identify how to motivate people, because we are all humans. We don't perform unless there is an incentive or unless there is something really pushing us in that direction. Second strategy, bargaining, collaborations and partnership with the government. This is the influencing that we need with the government and together with the support of the government. It is for the NERDC Center to empower, to establish performance-oriented organizational setup and structure and a culture. How best we can do it, we need to find out. And lots of other countries do these kind of things. And bargaining for required funding, high caliber HR and other resource requirements. And it's a continuous chain of efforts. We don't succeed all the time. Now it is even more critical because of the economic challenges that we face. Then you partner with the government to create R&D innovation-oriented culture in the country. So I think we are a very powerful influencing organization as an R&D institution, right? So we need to push for this together with a couple of other institutions. Collaborate with government to conduct and deliver timely important R&D projects like human-elephant conflict, food scarcity, and durability or whatever, perishable foods, how to prolong their life cycle and things like that. Then build strong linkages and strategic partnerships with other related government institutions. Very key aspect of that. Very strong collaborative partnerships. Sign MOUs for use of the equipment, facilities, and all these kind of strengths. Strategy 3, collaborate with other science and technology institutions, develop collaborative platform with other S&T institutions. So this collaborative platform, as I told you, is to conduct joint collaborative projects, is to collaborate with R&D and innovative projects that will help socio-economic development together as multiple partners, not just by Nerd Center itself. Share human and other resources and R&D innovation infrastructure and among scientific institutions. Now, you don't need to have all the labs within Nerd Center itself. You find out the best lab available in a university or somewhere else, connect with them, do research with them. Ask the universities to come and use Nerd Center labs, and that is how most countries work, because you don't want to duplicate the resources to establish these labs. NSF is doing some activities in that to have a database of all strategic equipment, and we need to find out. And some institutions actually support them, meet the cost of researchers using those facilities by the institution itself, rather than make it a burden for the researchers to do it, and see how best we can make use of the enormous facilities that we have in multiple institutions and enormous expertise that we have in universities and other R&D institutions that we cannot tap by the Nerd Center. I would like Nerd Center to tap the brains of other institutions and Nerd Center to tap the facilities of the other institutions, right? And so this is the collaboration that we want to have, and then implement institutional projects for national and strategic importance, and introduce both output and service-oriented KPIs. That is, when you provide a service to, say, for example, a university, consider that as a KPI of yourself as well, and find out the ways of providing those KPIs so that you can tell the ministry that despite the fact that we don't have a product, but we have been supporting these products, right? So at least that kind of a part KPIs. Strategy 4, collaborate with the universities, and that is where the enormous talent is there, because all the professors, and they are generally paid higher than the research and development staff in R&D institutions, and despite the fact that they migrate now to some extent, but I'm sure they will be stable and you will have talent, and it is a sustainable talent that we have in the universities. You need to develop collaborative platforms with the universities and other higher education institutions, conduct collaborative research and innovation projects, and again, for socio-economic issues of the country, share human and other resources like other S&T institutions, and implement innovative ways of sourcing project-based funding. Now, this, of course, when you collaborate together, I'm sure we can take JICA funding and ADB funding and all those, Erasmus funding and all the funding that we have when we come together with these institutions, with the universities as well. Strategy 5 is partnership with the industry is most difficult, but the most productive as well. This is very, very important. And develop a more friendly, open industry collaboration platform with easy accessibility. And Chamber is actually trying to do that. Ceylon Chamber of Commerce is actually, they have a platform called CART, which is Chambers Academia Roundtable. And through these kind of roundtables, we can communicate what we need, and the chambers will communicate. We are actually in the process of trying to identify kind of research needs that is required for the industries to really support by the universities and R&D institutions. So we need to have these kind of partnerships. Develop and implement sustainable systems to identify research needs, and that's the platform that we were actually talking about. Then technology transfer system is the most important aspect, and Nerd Center technology, to what extent we have transferred to producers or the companies where they produce and sell, right? Not the Nerd Center itself. Of course, you have certain things like that as well, but to what extent that we can really do it. Develop technology, transfer, license or transfer, and then finish it off, right? So maybe you can support those kind of developments. And Nerd Center commitment probably can be cut off once you develop and transfer the technology. So that is a very, very important aspects for the private sector. And the private sector is very savvy for this if you identify or connect the private sector right at the beginning rather than waiting at the end, right? So that's very important aspects. Then the intellectual property management for mutual rewards is very important as well. I'm sure we are now, as a country, developing our expertise in that, which was lacking in the past. And again, share R&D infrastructure, resources, and personnel. Private sector has lots of facilities, and they have their various testing equipment as well, and they are ready to really provide those kind of services to any R&D institutions and the universities for mutual benefit, right? So we need to identify that mutual benefit, how it comes through, and harness those kind of facilities as we go ahead. And you play an intermediary role to support R&D funding and investment for various projects. So the private sector probably can support this intermediary role as supporting institutions for providing funding as well. So this is again something that we don't consider has a great potential. Some institutions use it, but what we need to consider is something like country like Japan, Korea, in any developed country, private sector funding for research is over 80%, right? Only about 20% government support. And once it is really in place and it is a part of this national innovation ecosystem, it happens automatically. So you really don't want to clamor for funding by the government, clamor for funding by the research facilities and staff and all that is not there. So I think we need to little by little race to that status. And this one I actually got from the internet. This is again the China's connections for research and development collaboration globally and through social networks. And China has connections with many countries, but I couldn't locate Sri Lanka in that. A country like Ghana is also there, and lots of other countries are European countries. Thailand is there as well, Turkey, India, Kenya, and those countries are there. So likewise, we can find out, we can do research by ourselves to find out how best we are connected among our institutions in Sri Lanka, our universities, between institutions and with the other institutions as well. And so that is an indicator of the strength of some of the partnerships that we have. Right, with that, just the closing remarks. In general, and I would like to propose the NERD Center to review the position of the NERD Center in this national innovation ecosystem, right? So have a holistic idea about this ecosystem and where are we placed in that? What's our role in that? Is there a gap in our role? Is there a duplication in our role, right? And review your connectivity and collaborations with all these strategic institutions, and review our outputs and KPIs, particularly KPIs, key performance indicators, whether it is patents, whether it is number of technologies transferred, whether it is number of technologies commercialized, or how much money that we have earned to intellectual property or whatever. These are output indicators. Identify specific internal issues and addresses any kind of gaps in our value creation within the organization, and any external issues and influence for change, any hindrances and the barriers that we have to perform better because of the external issues, identify them and try to push for change. And as I informed earlier, I would like the NERD Center to concentrate for impact-based projects rather than the numbers in everything, whether it is a publication, impact, invention is an impact, licensing, commercialization, product development or tech transfer. What is the impact that we create by these kind of activities? Not just the number. Even the universities are now measured their performance and the ranking because of the impact and not the number of publications. At 1 or 2 publications making a huge impact globally is much, much more valuable than hundreds of publications that we make, right? And move from low-tech, affordable tech transfer, follower mindset to a high-tech innovation. Already it is happening, but we should not forget about the SME development as well, because SME is a very, very important, very powerful sector. NERD Center has been supporting SMEs very much. We need to continue those efforts and to support them, but at the same time we need to move on to cutting-edge technologies, as you indicated, artificial intelligence, machine learning, or all that we talked about as well. So that's just what I thought in my keynote address as a future direction to supplement what Dr. Samaravikrama indicated, as to how we should really step into the next 50 years of Nerd Center, how we best position ourselves. With that, let me take this opportunity to wish the Nerd Center all the very best to do much better job in the next 50 years with all the excellent leadership that we have as well, and for the National Nerd Center or NERDC to achieve great heights and great reputation, contributing to the economic development of our country as well. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Professor Anand Jayawardena, for those words of encouragement, well wishes, and utmost expertise. So, with that note, ladies and gentlemen, marking the 50th anniversary celebrations of the NERDC, we are ready to launch the commemorative stamp. I would like to call upon the Senior Deputy Postmaster General, Mr. Ratnasuri, along with the members of the Philatelic Bureau to step forward, please. And at the same time, would like to call upon Additional Secretary, Research and Innovation of the Ministry of Education, the Director General rather, Ms. Kumari Megha Kotua, along with the Chairman of NERDC, Professor Sudarban Upali Adhikari, Director General, Dr. Jayathu Samaravikrama, and the member of the Board of Directors. I would like to call upon Mr. Sarath Kumar, keynote speaker, Professor Anand Jayawardena, our guest of honor, Yamada Tetsuya-san, the Chief Representative of JICA Sri Lanka, and the Deputy Director General Services, Engineer Shant Jayasinghe, and Deputy Director General R&D, Engineer Nandan Edrisinghe. Can we have all of you stepping forward, please? Can we also have Dr. Sarangalha Peruma, Chairman of IDB, joining the dignitaries and to be a part of this memorable occasion where we launch the commemorative stamp and the first day car marking the 50th anniversary celebrations of the Nerd Center. Here we go. The first day car and the commemorative stamp being presented to our guest of honor. To Ms. Kumari Megha Kotua, Director General of the Research and Innovation Division. We also have Dr. Sarangalha Peruma, Chairman of IDB, who is our venue sponsor, collaborative partner, Dr. Anand Jayawardena, keynote speaker, Chairman of Nerd Center, Professor Sudarban Upali Adhikari, Director General, Dr. Jayathu Samaravikrama, Board Member, Mr. Sarath Kumar, DDG Services, Engineer Shant Jayasinghe, and DDG R&D, Engineer Nandana Edrisinghe. Thank you very much. Would like to request all of you to take your respective seats back. As without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, would like to call upon our guest of honor, gracing this occasion. Please welcome the Chief Representative of JICA here in Sri Lanka, Yamada Tetsuya-san, to say a few words.
Professor S.C. Adhikari, Chairman of NERD Center, Dr. Jayantu Samaravikrama, Director General of NERD Center, Senior Professor Ananta Jayawardana, distinguished guests, very good morning. Subhabudasak. It is truly my honor and privilege to attend this memorable event to celebrate the Golden Jubilee of NERD Center and to recognize the importance of technological advancement to the economy and the society of Sri Lanka. Development of R&D technologies spearheaded by the NERD Center in the past 50 years have been embedded all through the Sri Lankan society and have created the foundation of society. NERD Center's contributions and achievements over the past 50 years have been remarkable, and it is wonderful that NERD Center has always been able to quickly respond to technological advancement in a wide range of fields that have evolved at ever-increasing speed. I would like to comment NERD Center's tireless efforts over several generations, and I would also like to express my sincere respect to the entire society that has supported them. I think it can be said that it has even become the culture and tradition that symbolizes Sri Lankan society. In fact, the 50-year history of NERD Center almost overlaps with my life as I celebrated my 53rd birthday this month. And I feel I have gone through such a rapid and radical transformation of technologies in every sphere of my life. When I look at my childhood photos from some 50 years back, all I see are paper albums filled with faded black and white photos. But I still feel I am fortunate to have been born in Japan, home to camera manufacturers such as Nikon, Konica, Canon, and others, and to a father who enjoyed photography as a hobby and owned many high-quality cameras, without which I would only have very few family photos taken at the photo studio or something. Nowadays, most of your photos are casually taken by your cell phones and stored in the album somewhere in the cyberspace. Japan's major industries used to be material industries such as steel and chemicals manufacturing, and automobile and shipbuilding industries that used these as raw materials. And as the time went by, backed by strong consumer appetite and improved living standard of Japanese people due to rapid macroeconomic growth in the 1970s and 1980s, the industrial focus was shifted to home appliances manufacturing, such as washing machine, refrigerators, and television, etc., etc. And it evolved further into fields such as semiconductor and computers. All of these industries required heavy investment. But now, the whole landscape surrounding many industries is changing dramatically. You don't need millions of dollars investment to impact the world. Thanks to many disruptive innovations, you can start up your business with maybe a couple of $1,000s or even $100 within a day, and you can become a unicorn within a year, of course, if you're really talented and lucky. In the future, digital technologies such as AI will greatly change the world. The superiority we've had in the past will no longer be an advantage tomorrow. We are now living in a world where even latecomer countries can quickly catch up and gain a major advantages through technological innovation. If NERD Center makes full use of R&D DNA that it has cultivated over the past 50 years and forge a strong partnership with others and to continue to further develop technologies, it will surely bring a bright future to Sri Lanka. Before concluding my remarks, let me touch upon JICA. This year, 2024, actually marks the 70th anniversary of Japan's international cooperation. Japan joined the Colombo Plan and began international cooperation in the year of 1954, exactly 70 years back. Over the past 70 years, JICA has offered training courses to over 14,000 Sri Lankans, dispatched over 3,000 JICA experts here and there, and provided over 2.8 trillion rupee equivalent yen loans. But the most impactful aspect of this cooperation has been the transfer of technologies through people and infrastructure development that we did in Sri Lanka. Now, JICA is currently placing more emphasis on climate change and digital technology and digital transformation, which we call nowadays DX, as corporate priorities. So we wish to strengthen our close relationship with NERDC Center and make even greater contribution to Sri Lanka's economy and society through the development and dissemination of technologies. Once again, congratulations on your 50th anniversary, and I pray that the next 50 years will be even more brilliant and glorious. Thank you very much for performance today.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Of honor, we are ready to
2030 launch. A digital strategy unveiled, promising to propel the economy from $3.7 billion to $15 billion by 2030. A series of events kicked off with this launch. Over 500 minds, 30 plus experts, and 3 days of pure tech inspiration. NITC 2023, held at Shangri-La, Colombo, reverberated with collaboration and innovation. Industry giants, researchers, and tech enthusiasts gathered, fueling Sri Lanka's digital transformation journey under the Digicon 2023-2030 vision. National IT and BPM Week 2023 showcased the power of Sri Lanka's IT and BPM sectors. Over 100 companies brimming with expertise connected with potential partners, igniting career paths and championed the growth of this dynamic industry, aligning with Digicon's vision for a thriving digital economy. DIS 2023, DIS 2023, held at Shangri-La, Colombo, witnessed local and foreign investors connecting with promising startups and established companies. The Ministry of Technology's vision for a vibrant tech hub materialized as deals took flight, propelling Sri Lanka's digital future under the Digicon 2023-2030 initiative. DigiGo 2023 rolled out, empowering over 1 million SMEs to embrace digital transformation. A symphony of government muscle, industry expertise, and local understanding resonated through this initiative, providing tools, training, and support, paving the way for a digitally inclusive Sri Lanka under Digicon 2023-2030. Techno 2023, co-organized by the Ministry of Technology along with IESL, showcased Sri Lanka's cutting-edge technologies from AI-powered healthcare to VR adventures. Witnessing the ingenuity of over 300 stalls, attendees experienced the future of tech and ignited their passion for innovation. solidifying Sri Lanka's position as a rising tech hub under Digicon's vision. The National ICT Awards, recognizing excellence in the tech domain for 25 years, honored 48 categories of innovation. Celebrating the achievements of individuals, startups and established companies, the event resonated with Digicon's commitment to empowering tech talent and fostering a thriving digital ecosystem. Economic resurgence fueled by innovation. Nerd Symposium in partnership with Digicon and National Science Week ignited minds with cutting-edge research and industry connections. November witnessed a confluence of tech, education and future makers. Infotel 2023, organized by FITIS and the Ministry of Technology, brought together the best of Sri Lanka's tech scene alongside the Education Forum and YSC Awards, showcasing cutting-edge technologies, inspiring young minds and celebrating young brilliance. The event fueled Digicon's vision for a future powered by innovation and skilled talent. Fintech, smart cities and AI bridged Sri Lanka's Digicon dreams at API Asia. This Ministry of Technology supported conference connected the present with the future, powered by open APIs. Democratizing finance, weaving technology into city life and reimagining possibilities. API Asia fueled Sri Lanka's journey towards a digital tomorrow.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as part of these activities, NERDC also have organized. Now, today in the morning, we had the launch of the product under the auspices of the State Minister of Technology, Honorable Kanaka Herath, was there in the morning. So, we had that in the morning today. So, apart from that, the symposium, like how we had it last year, will be held on the 14th of August, 2024, in parallel to the 50th anniversary celebrations of NERDC. And it will be held in Colombo. So this is the flyer that we have arranged. So if you have papers to be submitted, your ideas, your research findings, this is the ideal opportunity, the platform for you all. So make use of the opportunity and do the needful in submitting all your research findings and your thoughts, your suggestions. So thank you very much, NERDC, for all the collaboration and the contributions being made. Ladies and gentlemen, the 50th anniversary celebration of NERDC is brought to you as venue sponsor. We have the Industrial Development Board. As the gold sponsor, we have Chamari Constructions Private Limited. We have two silver sponsors, Janak Engineering Private Limited and Alumex. Thank you very much to all the sponsors. So, on behalf of all the sponsors, to say a few words, to add well wishes, would like to call upon the most busiest man these days here at the BMICH. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have the South Asia's biggest industry expo unveiling here at the BMICH, the man behind the game. Please welcome the collaborative partner, Industrial Development Board. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Sarangala Peruma to say a few words.
Thank you very much for kind introduction and good morning everyone. Chairman, NERDC, Director General and country head of JICA and all Japan and all leading academics and representative from NERD and distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great honor to stand before you today as we celebrate the remarkable 50th anniversary of National Engineering Research and Development Centre of Sri Lanka. Actually, this was established under the State Industrial Corporation Act. This was established 1974 within the premises of ITP. After that, it moved to Ekala, first ever industrial zone in Sri Lanka, in Ekala Industrial Zone in 1978. The primary mission of NERD has always been to advance domestic engineering and technological research and share this knowledge with our industries. However, when the center was placed under the different ministries, separate from the ITB and Ministry of Industries, the vital synergy between the two institutes was unfortunately disrupted. This separation hindered the full realization of NERD's founding objectives. Another one of the important and not correct policy decision made recently, I think a few years ago, that's the all SOIs try to become self-funding institute. So it is correct for the Gem and Jewellery Authority, Mineral Science Sri Lanka, Timber Corporations, and like that, the corporate or trade-oriented institute. But I feel, and I understand NERD, ITI, and those SOEs, state-owned enterprise, and institute, it more or less like health and education. This institute should be able to operate freely without financial burden. Then only they can pass their innovations and new technologies to industry without getting any payment. But unfortunately now, not only for this institute, including institute myself is represent, and SLIS, ITI, so all, now their services trying to sell to industries and their clients, sometime in an unaffordable price for the survival of these industries. What happened in end of the day, these institutes are surviving, industries are dying. What was the founding objectives for the institutes? To prevent dying of these industries and to support of these boom these industries, to take the economy up. So today we are doing vice versa. I think, so I don't know who are making those decisions, probably in Ministry of Finance. So in one way it should be correct from their perspective in the Edavela tours, but in a long run, as economy, today we bankrupt. So these are the causes for this bankruptcy. And we need to come out first, and we need to realize what is the issue for this. Not for spending money for health or education freely, not for spending the defense budget, not for spending for this kind of institute. That's not the reason. The reason is the reducing the earning and government revenue. It means the reduction of the production. What we need to do, we need to support for manufacturing, then services industries, then we can easily tax from them. So right now what we are doing, cutting the inputs of all the sectors and trying to get out of that. So that's a very clear failure. Then another example in the industrial sector at the moment. So even though according to the officials, HS code of raw materials and intermediate materials, the free of taxes and all the levies, when those are imported, those are not available in country. But eventually those are taxed. So when inputs are taxed, we are not globally competitive. So then we can't export. So more than 90% of raw material and intermediates we need to import to this country, that because even though we are telling we are a very rich natural resource country, actually it is not what I feel when compared to other regions in the globally. So we are rich in some areas, but we are environmentally highly sensitive and well-literate community, and so the 5-star democracy, that's very hard to take, the huge licensing process there. So actually we suggest So last year total global imports 24,905 billion US dollars. That's the global imports. We just put only 13 billion out of that. So why we can't capture another 30 billion out of that 24,905 billion? Are we not capable enough? Are we lazy to work? Are we not healthy to work? No, it's not. So there are, while among the so many reasons, when we tax for inputs, the raw materials, we are not globally competitive. So that's the reason. To capture the global market, we should price-wise competitive. The standard we should meet and continuous supply should be there. So unfortunately, at least in the 50th anniversary celebration, so if the people can realize the mistake, we can give the better country for our next generation. Otherwise, so we have to definitely enter for the 18th time also for IMF. We are today, the debt is 100 billion US dollars, including foreign and local. So there's no way out to pay without manufacturing and export, apart from in other incomes are the tourism and the foreign remittances. And globally, those are highly vulnerable for external threats. So we experience in Corona time. So, but the manufacturing economy, when it's solid, so like Japan, the pioneer of this region, so whatever happening outside the country, it's not a much big issue for the economic stabilization. That's what we are trying to work hardly to bring the export-oriented manufacturing economy. But for that, the engineering, innovation, research, it is must, and we should provide for SMEs and other industries free of charge or at an affordable cost. So, but when one hand they are asking to become self-financing, another hand, we are requesting from you to is free of charge or lower cost. So this won't be work. We need to go together to Ministry of Finance, and we need to, and we should try to convince these people. So otherwise, I don't see any future for this country. Despite these challenges, I have immense faith of these capabilities of NERD. You are technologically advanced institute, brimming with potential. Your work in consultancy, technological incubation, laboratory facilities, and collaboration both foreign and local industries is pivotal. I recognize your tireless efforts to cultivate innovation and creativity among our local entrepreneurs. Yet it is disheartening that NERD's capabilities in engineering research are not fully recognized by our industries. This has led a significant outflow of foreign currency as we seek industrial services abroad, the laboratory facilities, this product development and designs, services that NERD can provide at a lower cost and within international standards. Addressing this disconnect between industry needs and the facilitate at the NERD is crucial. Strengthening the partnership between the Industrial Development Board and the NERD is essential. We need a robust communication channel between IDB and NERD to share updates on industry's need and technological advancement. This will foster the core development of technologies and solutions that are directly relevant to a current industrial challenge. When ITI was established, the founding objective was the new research and development. They do the innovation, research and development, transfer it to the Industrial Development Board. At that time, it was a state industrial corporation. And after that, we are responsible for dissemination for across the country, that we have that mechanism. So after that, that time, our leaders will realize the non-engineering things are research innovations going on, but engineering, the research also important. That's why NERD established. But today, so we are in two different locations. Anyway, addressing the as we commemorate NERD 50th anniversary, we celebrate your significant contribution to engineering research and Sri Lankan economy. I congratulate you on being a pioneer in the field and express my hope that your strength will continue to uplift the Sri Lankan livelihood with an export-oriented manufacturing economy. As a team, we are now very closely work with NERD team. Thanks to Chairman, Director General and whole staff, we are very closely work this industry expo. We are joint-handedly celebrating the innovation, research and symposium in a same platform. That's honor to us really. And the team of IDB, we believe that each and every citizen on our motherland, they have a right to live with their basic needs. When we go 100 years ago, the basic needs are, it's a privilege, but today it's a right. If you are not capable enough as a government official to create an environment to enjoy the basic needs, it's a crime, what I feel. So IDB is tirelessly working in joint hand with NERD and other relevant institutes to bring that economic development to the country, but we know that we can't do it alone. And so we all of us born in a developing country, it's not our fault, but none of us has a right to die in a developing country. If it is, it's our fault. So we need to create a conducive environment for entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are the hidden factor of economic growth. There's no any other. So conducive environment for entrepreneurs mean to start a business and maintain a business. To start a business and maintain a business, new innovations, new technologies is must. So individual industries or SMEs, they can't do that. They can't afford. That's why this center is established. But in future, so tremendous support they provided for industries, I think. But even though we did it, our annual report our success, the country summary is failed. So even though my institute, all the annual reports are very successful, we achieve our objectives. But country summary sheet is failed and bankrupt. So now we should target to achieve not our, so even including my institute, we have 265 SOEC under this government. So that's so we should work to achieve that. And while I'm congratulating for the 50th anniversary, and we are requesting the people who are making decisions, so you can make the decisions, but listen to us as well. If you are making related to the industrial or innovation decision, listen to NERD and IDB and relevant institute. In my institute, if I will hand over all the decision making and development to my finance division, then definitely they will manage the finance. But institutional objectives we can't meet. So any institute, it should be same. They are expert on managing finance. So if we take this country as institute, I think there are a lot of companies bigger than this economy. So if the finance people, if we consider it's the finance division in this institute, so if we are making all the decisions on behalf of us, so this is the result we can achieve. So now it's achieved. Now it's time to pressurize those decision makers to listen to all the people. So we'll start things tomorrow, and while this milestone is not just a celebration, but a testament to the enduring impact of dedication of research institution in driving progress of development. I envision a future where the IDB and NERD work hand in hand, leveraging our respective strength for for the betterment of Sri Lankan's industrial landscape. Thank you. And here's too many more years of innovation and collaboration. Good luck.
රස මිහිරෙන් ඇලුණු අත්වලින් ඇලුණු බලාපොරොත්තුවෙන් ඇලුණු විචිත්‍රත්වයෙන් ඇලුණු නිදහසින් ඇලුණු සුම්නසින් ඇලුණු සිසිලසින් ඇලුණු ජීවිතයට ඇලුණු ඇලුමෙක්ස්.
Thank you very much to all our sponsors, and a big thank you to Dr. Sarangalha Peruma, Chairman of Industrial Development Board. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to present some very special tokens of appreciation. I would like to call upon the following dignitaries on stage, please, to do the honors. Can we have with us Director General of Research and Innovation of the Ministry of Education, Ms. Kumari Meghakotua, on stage, please, being accompanied by Chairman of NERDC, Professor Sudharman Upali Adhikari, and Director General NERDC, Dr. Jayathu Samarvikrama. Can we have three of you on stage, please? So the first token of appreciation being presented to, ladies and gentlemen, to our guest of honor. Please welcome Chief Representative of JICA Sri Lanka, Yamada Tetsuya-san. And then to our keynote speaker, Professor Ananda Jayawardena. It's time to say a very big thank you to our sponsors. And we can start off with our collaborative partner, venue sponsor, ladies and gentlemen, Industrial Development Board. Please welcome Dr. Sarangalha Peruma. A big thank you to our gold sponsor, Chomari Constructions Private Limited. Unfortunately, they are not here with us today. We have silver sponsors, Jonak Engineering, and big thank you to Alumex. Right, thank you very much. Would like to call upon, we also have a special token of appreciation to Ms. Kumari Meghakutu as well, Director General Research and Innovation Division of the Ministry of Education. So thank you very much, dignitaries. And now would like to call upon Chairman and the Director General to give away other tokens in the audience to the respective guest. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, to wrap up the formalities, I would like to call upon Chairman of the Organizing Committee of the 50th Anniversary Celebrations. Please welcome Dr. Anjana Liyanage to propose the vote of thanks.
Where's my glasses? Okay, it's over here. Shall I? All right. Okay. Hi everyone, good afternoon. With the nation contribution to build the national engineering research and development, and thousands of great minds contributed with their expertise, and 50 years of experience of NERDC. It wouldn't be fair if we were just wrap up with 2 hours of sessions in order to celebrate this our 50th anniversary. Obviously, we don't do like that, and our management never would do that. So there's a reason. Before I start my word of thanks, we have made most probably the biggest exhibition hall belongs to one institute, regardless whether it's private or government organization, within the biggest industrial exhibition here in Sri Lanka. So before, thank you very much, sir. Before beginning my word of thanks, I humble request to all of you to participate, to visit our exhibition hall, just barely 200 meters from here. If you walk just 5 minutes. If anyone wants to take a drive, just half a circle of the BMICH. So having said that, let's get back to our business. Distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, as we draw this momentous celebration to a close, I am honored to deliver the word of thanks on behalf of the entire institute. Today, we have marked a significant milestone, 50 years of excellence in engineering research and development. This is a testament to our firm commitment to innovation, education, and social impact. First and foremost, I extend our deepest gratitude to our special guest, Honorable State Minister of Technology, Mr. Kanaka Herath, who was with us early in this morning. He came roughly about 8:45 due to his some overlap programs. So he visited us. He bounced back before, I guess, 9:30. So still, we do appreciate his for his grace in this occasion with their presence and inspiring words. Obviously, their support and encouragement are valuable to us as we continue to strive for excellence. A special thanks to our keynote speaker, sir, Senior Professor Anand Jayawardena. Ladies and gentlemen, please give hands to Senior Professor Anand Jayawardena for his passionate, precise and inspiring presentation, sir. Thanks a lot. Your contribution have enriched this celebration and reminded us of the profound impact our institute has had on the engineering world. The guest of honor, the Chief Representative of the Japan International Cooperation Agency in Sri Lanka, known as JICA. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for being with us today, joining with us today during this memorable moment. And not only that, thank you very much for everything you do for our motherland. Thanks a lot, sir. Special thanks to all of our sponsors, namely IDB. I must tell you, Dr. Saranga, please convey our best regards to your team. Probably over 20 guys are working here, most probably 24 hours. They are responding even midnight, 2 o'clock morning. Please convey our regards to them. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for our Chamari Constructions, who is our gold sponsor, and Janaka Engineering Private Limited and Alumex as our silver sponsors. Deputy Post Director, who left a while ago, Mr. Rajitha Rana Singh, and the team for their presence and their service did for our this occasion, 50th anniversary. To our esteemed guest, thank you for taking time to join us today. Your achievement and continued connection to the NERDC Center are a source of immense pride and inspiration. Your stories remind us of the transformative power of engineering and the far-reaching influence of our institution. We are extremely grateful to our dedicated staff, both past and present. Their hard work, your hard work, dedication, commitments, and passion have been the driving forces behind our success over the past 5 decades. Without your tireless efforts, we would not be where we are here today. A heartfelt thanks you to our industry partners, our licensees, and collaborators. Your support and partnership have been crucial in bridging the gap between academia and industry, ensuring that our research and development efforts have real-world applications and impact. We also extend our gratitude to the organization committee, some of even trainees, some of volunteers, who work tirelessly to make this celebration as a grand success. Their thoughts, your thoughts, planning and execution have made today a memorable and joyous occasion for all. NERDC ආයතනයෙන් මෙතන සහභාගී වෙන්න බොහොම ටික දෙනයි. කියන්නේ හැම දිනාටම මැනේජ්මන්ට් එක කරන ඇප්‍රීෂিয়েෂන් එක. මොකද සමහර අය පේන්නෙත් නැහැ. සමහර අය කතා කරන්නෙත් නැහැ. But they did හැම commitment එකක්ම even at the last moment they delivered successfully. I really do appreciate. Thank you very much. Lastly, thank you all to all of your guests and attendees for joining us in celebrating this significant milestone. Your presence and participation have made this day truly remarkable. As we look forward to the next 50 years, let us continue to innovate, educate, and inspire. Let us build on solid foundation laid over the past 5 decades and strive for greater heights in engineering research and development. Honorable Minister of Education, Dr. Susil Premajayantha, want to be here very badly. He confirmed that he would be here by 11:30, but unfortunately he could not make it. A couple of days before, I got an email from our first chairman, barely finished to send 2 lines, saying that it sounds like this: I heard that you are celebrating the anniversary. I am not well. Thank you. So we know there are probably not thousands and more than that people who want to be with us today. And they always be with us today. And trust the NERDC. NERDC will be there with them and for them and for long years to go. Right? So thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you at our exhibition hall just after this session. So where you can witness each and every department's strength and their creativity and perhaps imaginations. We have about 6, or if I'm wrong, 8 departments who display their latest innovations, and not only that, all right? So as I said before, I believe this is the biggest exhibition hall belongs to any institute in the past history. We got 100 by 50 feet, marquee, entire things belongs to us, and well contributed by IDB and their team. Again, I'm reminding that one because it's really remarkable. So again, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us today. If something went wrong, just don't blame the NERDC. As chairman of the organizing committee, I take that responsibilities, right? Just bear with us. And if I did not make your name, Mr. Yamada Testo, forgive me that one. And everyone, thank you again. Let us see at our exhibition hall. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anjanali Nage. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we wrap up the formalities. Before you all proceed towards the exhibition hall, I would like to request all of you to stand in front of the main stage for us to take a very special group photograph. Can we have all of you stepping forward, please? Dr. Anjanali Nage will do the honors in escorting all of you. We would like to call upon our sponsor.
නිල් කැටේට වතුර පිරිලා. ඒ නිල් වතුරේ ඕලු මල්, කෙකටිය මල් යායට පිපිලා. හමන සිහිල් මද නලින් වැව් දිය මත සිහිල් දිය රැලි නැගෙන. එහෙ වැවක මහිම බලන්න නම් ඔබ බලන්න වැවක මහිම.